Dude, you look fired the fuck up. Do you want to
am.
start? You want to tee us off here? You look like you have the energy to really carry this pod.
My favorite thing is
yeah.
I made a near fatal mistake, and I haven't had the sound on the whole time, but this was my favorite part. Is Drew hasn't had the sound on,
Like
so he
at
was
all.
like, yeah, so he was confused as we were talking about the expedited replay, and I'm like, God, that makes a lot of sense. If you don't hear him saying it, you're just thinking like, oh, another ref must have saw different and they changed their mind. But like, that's what we were talking about.
The other ref happens to be in New York on watching.
Yeah, the other ref happens to have like an 80-inch HD, 8K TV in front of him instead. And we said this, like, this is what replay always should have been, instead of, the ref that's running around all day in the cold, walking over to a tiny little TV monitor on the side and looking at whatever they're feeding him. They should have people in real time fixing it. And it has been good. How important are offensive linemen? Well, they are 45.5% of your offense. So it seems important. Ravens are up. Really, every game we've had has been pretty competitive outside of once Seattle finally stopped acting like they belong there, I guess, at that point.
I don't know about this. I don't know about characterizing it that way.
I just wanted to pick on you. No, I mean,
Seattle did not belong. We should have seen the Lions. That would have been much more entertaining.
That would have been fun.
Well, you talked about that ad nauseum. Like, the Lions deserve that spot.
But
the Seahawks, ironically, as great as the refs, and the refs have not been good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, the Niners were down at the Niners.
The refs have not been good these wild card round.
If we're going to, and that's why I said that. I'm like, I know the refs have been bad, but like, my brain is broken because I'm so excited about the expedited replay that it's giving me the benefit of the doubt, and it shouldn't, because they have been bad. Like, I didn't have a horse in the race except for some live overs in Minnesota, and I was just embarrassed by that roughing the passer call. Like, he still had the ball.
Just a horrendous call, but ball don't lie. Ultimately, they didn't get the bailout on the 4th and 8 when Kirk Cousins threw it 2 yards down the field. What the fuck, you fucking idiot! Like, wow, wow, that was an embarrassment. You should be ashamed of yourself doing that in a playoff. Do you think Kirk Cousins knew this was the playoffs? Or do you think I thought this was just another regular season game and they were going to have another chance next week? I don't know. Who knows? Apparently, we were the only people that knew that was his final play of the season, basically. It
was rough. Quick. Even before the
let's talk about this game.
Tackle, Drew.
It was
rough
now.
seeing him throw that.
Okay, so this is going to be weird. You ready for this? I don't really want to talk about this game. This game is super, super fucking annoying. Like, phenomenally annoying. Like, the fact that the Bengals are letting the Ravens hang around, not interested in this. Didn't want to sweat this. Didn't want to sweat the Bengals winning this game. Bengals missing extra points. Like, what are we doing, guys? Like, this, anyone that bet Bengals first half, like, they probably threw their TV out the window at this point. Like, there's been 6 drives in this game, and somehow the 9-point a 2-score lead didn't hold up after 3 of those 6 drives, which is amazing. But the Ravens defense is playing hard. The Ravens don't deserve nice things, is why I'm so annoyed here. And like, people like fucking clockwork, Andy, like clockwork. People flipped on Lamar Jackson for not being tough enough, for not playing through injury, for doing what is the 100% correct decision for him, for his future, future compensation, his family, for the Ravens, like preserving his value as a trade asset. Like, everyone benefited from no Lamar Jackson playing in this game, except for the Ravens' potential to, move on and win a Super Bowl. That was already lost, and how hard the AFC is.
Yeah, in a spot where the AFC is super hard. And yeah, when you have a big underdog like this, who's leading at half, usually there's something has happened. But really, they're 2 for 4 on third down.
Yeah.
They have 10 more yards than Cincinnati. They've run the same amount of plays. They've been to the red zone twice. They're 1 of 2. There really haven't been any penalties. We've had a turnover each. Sacks have been mostly Burrow. Actually, you know what? The only real differentiating factor so far is the sacks on Burrow, kind of pushing them behind the chains as the announcers like, you got to stay ahead of the sticks, guys. But it doesn't help when it's 3rd and 16 for sure.
Well, the other thing was the Ravens getting the face mask call.
I was going to say, so you've only got 3 penalties, but both of them.
One of them was a little outsized.
When you end up with one that's super important like that, it's the same thing as like you go look at, one of these penalties could be a one penalty for 1 yard, but when it turns out to be pass interference on 4th down at the 2-yard line,
it's a big penalty. It's a big penalty.
Not all penalties are created equal.
It's a big one.
And do we get our first under? Is this finally the spot where? I mean, I know we've said nice things about the Bengals offense. They're at home. I think I don't know. Like, what are we gonna bet here? I know the under has taken a little bit of steam, but now it's still juiced back towards the 20. It's 19.5 minus 18 to the over, and Bengals -4 plus 106 at this point.
I guess, have the Ravens done anything offensively to warrant respect to the tune of they're going to score more than 7 points in the second half? Because I haven't seen it.
The touchdown drive was something, but again, it was, there was a 4th down conversion, which again,
people mostly were just creaming on themselves because it was 10 minutes long and it was 17 plays. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, but that's something to keep a drive alive with the quarterback you have and the receivers you have.
The Bengals also got a sack on 3rd and 5 that turned into a first down because of a face mask that was exceptionally questionable.
Yeah.
Am I biased
Drew,
in that?
At that point, it's still 9-6 here.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still not some huge difference.
That's true.
Obviously, 4 points makes a big difference.
They took another 2.5 minutes off the clock after that, by the way.
Yeah, and Matt Porter has said, like, can Cincy cover the teasers? Is the -4? Do we think we see the Niners second half, or do we see the Bills second half?
Fuck, man.
Stuff. And truthfully, if I was looking at this objectively, I'm not betting the second half.
I don't have the same confidence at all that I did betting Niners second half yesterday. Not even in the same stratosphere. This is not a wrong line. The Bengals pretty clearly the Ravens pretty clearly have mastered keep away football. It's awful. It's unwatchable. They should be banished into the fucking phantom zone. Like, I don't want to watch this football at all. But at the same time, like, they're going to eat the shit out of the clock in the second half. They get the ball first.
Do the Bengals cover the -4 by only scoring 10 points because of the Lou halftime adjustments? You've been a big Lou guy this year.
Yeah.
So, Cincinnati did start with the ball. The Ravens.
Here's the other thing. Here's the general problem with the counting on a Lou adjustment, Andy. What that the Ravens have done so far is even remotely a surprise. Like, they are literally doing exactly what us fucking chumps, like, we're spitballing. This is what I think their plan A should be. If it works, then they may have a chance in this game, right? Like, they're doing what should have been sort of the expectation. They should have had a plan for it, and it's not working because they're getting out physical to the line of scrimmage. 4 or 5, 3-4 yards a carry with Gus and Dobbins, mixing it up and, getting Huntley on the move outside of the pocket. Like, they could have if you're telling me that the Bengals have another 17 play, 75 yard, 10-minute drive in the second half, that's not going to surprise me. Under?
I was thinking just taking some +4.
+4.
And hoping the Bengals win by 2. I don't have a strong take on anything in the second half. But next person in the chat that comes up with a bet. I want to believe in the Bengals. This is a team I've seen play much better than this.
If there's
But
anything that
any
Lou tweaks,
adjustments,
yeah.
we
If there's
still have
anything that
Harbaugh
Lou,
on the other side.
if there's anything that Lou tweaks, maybe it's a little bit better red zone defense from the Bengals, so it's more field goals than it is, touchdowns for them in the second. I mean, they got one touchdown in 3 fucking possessions. I mean, this has just been a very weird game because there's been so few opportunities with the ball. So it hasn't really changed ultimately how the outcome can.
I was in jail
determined.
because I'm in jail because of how bad our Jags played in the first half, and then I forgot to change
Yeah,
it. They released me from jail by winning.
You know what? You know what makes me want to put myself in jail, Andy?
What's that?
Every time I think about how badly I need the Bengals to win, and then they show a clip of Zach Taylor on the sideline looking like a goddamn dunce.
Let's put more money on
it. Oh man. You ready to go double down on the Bengals here?
I was so close to just betting the Ravens. Yeah, I mean the bet is no bet, but you know what? I'm doubling down because I hate myself.
Well, okay. Wait. Let's take a step. Let's take a big old step back. It's 10-9.
Yep.
The Bengals at some point score a touchdown. They're going for 2. They convert it. We go to overtime. We open up this total. This total could be.
Oh my god! And
total could be not close. Every other game this week, the refs are calling it for an over. They're giving you
running the damn game here.
I think we.
So
go
Brad,
over.
and real quick, Brad, a reason I've been a little sketched out by second half unders is the new overtime rules. You can legitimately have
no question. I'm not playing a second half under.
You can have a 20-point overtime.
No
Hell, both teams could go for 2.
There's basically potential for 3 quarters if it's a one-score game.
You can have a 22-point overtime if it went 8-6.
Yeah, that's right.
Scares me. So
that's
scared.
Right.
All right.
That's right.
Let's go. I wanted to do it. Can't do it.
Let's go over and hope that it's all fucking Bengals.
All right.
Say over. You good? You good with that final decision?
Yeah. Yes. This is
yesterday's play.
21 Bengals
yesterday's play was a no doubter. I can't remember what number we ultimately got on the Jags because I wanted a better number.
I didn't even play yesterday's halftime bet.
What?
Wait for it. I didn't play the Jaguars -3. I played the Jaguars -3 parlayed with the second half over.
Oh, good. That was good.
I loved them both so much.
That was a good play.
I couldn't even do it.
Well, do you want to do the same sort of thing here?
No, God, no. This total's scary. That's why we're betting the over. Patrick can't wait to move back in with my parents. Yeah. Oh, God. I have divorced parents. I'd have to choose. I'd go live with my dad. He still has my Lego table.
Oh, Patrick. Oh, that's a good one, man. I love that kind of humor. But at the same time, it's not going to put me in a very tight spot. It's not going to put me in a tight spot if the Bengals lose this game. But I'm going to be fucking bent out of shape pretty bad. It's going to hurt. This is going to. It will hurt. It will hurt if the Bengals lose this game.
No matter what, Jacksonville is heading to Kansas City.
No, that's not true.
This changes.
That's not true.
Oh yeah. Baltimore would go there, and Jacksonville would go to Buffalo. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. This is and honestly, if I have a big old potential payout on a Jags future, I don't care because they don't want to play us.
No.
Kansas City, Buffalo.
Hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah. We're in both of their heads. We're in everyone's head right now. Did you see what they did yesterday in the second half, Andy? We're in everyone's head.
I feel like it got awful weird. Honestly, once it's 21
here we
nothing,
go.
Once it's 21-0 in the second.
Here we go.
Late in the third quarter, I'm just gonna watch tennis.
Have you watched any tennis so far?
Not yet. Somebody did bring this up though, that we did halftime of the night games because we like to do the night games, but it's better company, you guys, and But man, the first two games would have been way better half times. Like those games were, although Jesus Christ, Buffalo, like that game took 6 hours.
Oh my God. It's still going on, I think. They have not
My
decided. I
wife's
assume
like, oh, the
Buffalo is
second game
up
started
by 3
already?
still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh, nice adjustment, Lou.
Yeah, no surprise here.
Yeah, congrats to Siwoo Kim of the Kims.
What?
He is the Sony Open champion. My buddy Ryan Newman.
Siwoo Kim won the Sony?
It wasn't a great field. He was only like 45-1.
He was behind by 1 million going into round 4.
I know he wasn't that,
but he was way
that far
behind.
back. He wasn't that far back.
Okay.
My head-to-head matchups, Drew, for the full tournament, 5 of them. Only won 1. 1 and 4. And here's the fun thing about betting. My daily matchups, which essentially use the same research, pretty much the same numbers. 11 and 3.
Really?
Yeah, just real baffling bullshit. I think I about broke even. About break even as gamblers. They go for. What are you doing?
I'm making that's interesting noise. I'm undefeated so far at the Australian Open, so probably gonna run the table here.
Undefeated in basketball today. Go
oh, really? Nice job.
I called it Cosby U this morning in the chat. I feel bad about that because he's a criminal.
My Survivor entries are also in good shape, so there's that.
I thought you meant football for a second again. Back to playoff.
No,
playoff
Australian Open Survivor. Australian Open Survivor is like that is the same as football Survivor, but condensed into 14 days instead of 14 weeks.
I feel like one of the Survivor. One of the survivors last year just ended up winning, not on a technicality, but like the other person had just run out of players. Like all the 2 women in the finals he'd already used. And it was just like, oh, the other guy wins.
Charles, it's overtime. We will talk about Danny Dimes. He was magnificent. He got to play the Vikings defense and
that helps.
Ed Donatel's insane scheme, which was super soft, but boy, oh freaking boy, very, very cool seeing him play that effectively. And I mean, they found themselves a quarterback in New York. I mean, I think this is the answer long term now. The match between him and Dable and what Dable wants to do and Kafka wants to do scheme wise, it's so perfect. Yeah, I don't have any criticism. Zero criticism. Zero.
Almost
it's
put up
so good.
Jared Goff numbers against the Vikings.
I feel lucky that was not somehow a roughing or something like that, or an unnecessary roughness, even though that was a very clean tackle on what was effectively a running back.
You want a hot take
on
the Giants? Dable isn't a good coach.
It's Kafka. You think it's all Kafka?
Like what if we find this?
You think it's all Kafka?
No. I'm just playing with you guys. I'm having fun.
Why do you think nobody is interviewing him?
No, it's early. It's the first year. I bet he gets an interview next year. Maybe he gets a call. It's still early in the process, Drew. But this sort of thing does happen, and we made fun of the Dougie P situation. But like this has happened where it's like, oh, this coach is good, and then the coordinators get hired and be like, oh no, it's like I don't know, Kitchens. I guess something along those lines. But no, I'm not saying Dable's bad. It'll be funny if it was just, it was Kafka all along and Kafka goes and wins 5 Super Bowls with the Colts along the line somewhere.
That seems
the
absurd.
Overs. Yeah, the overs. I don't know. Like the play calling is so good because I really think he has one of the tougher jobs in the league. Like, yes, Danny Dimes was not great before the season. His play calling and what he's done to open up that offense with Drew, the wide receivers that they've had. How many people have put that crutch in this Baltimore team all year long? Well, they don't have any true wide receivers. Dude, New York has had it worse than almost anybody. They've had quitters. They've had injuries. They had people that don't want to be there, people that can't be there, people that got traded. Like the fact that what he's done with this offense, and yes, it's easier when you have a good running back that you don't have to really worry about,
I mean, it's also easier when you
have
have the unholy trio of Isaiah Hodgkins, Darius Slayton, Richie James, and Daniel Bellinger.
This is what I'm saying, Richie James.
Wow. Here's the only kind of, I mean, here, like, I don't know.
The honeymoon might be over next week. We'll see what the Eagles.
The honeymoon might be over next week. Like, the Eagles' defense is so phenomenally better, and honestly, like,
I think it all comes down to how healthy Hurts is.
It comes down to how healthy Hurts is, and some of the other pieces too. Like, it kind of got lost in the shuffle, but like a bunch of really kind of important guys: CJ, GJ, Sweat, AJ Brown, like Lane Johnson's dealing with. Like, these guys are going to play. But are they going to be anywhere as good as we saw, week 1 to week 8? All right. Like, there's a lot of questions swirling about the Eagles, surely. Meanwhile, Daniel Jones and
Avonte Maddox.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean,
3 minutes deep, no scores yet. Philly, yeah. I was telling Drew earlier, my number is 8.5 for Philly, but I don't know how fair that is.
Right?
It's really hard to grade
some of the matchup.
It's really hard to grade some of the injuries.
No one has hung that, right? Even though we know that's the matchup.
I think BetOnline had it. A couple legals had it. It's 7.5 mostly.
And you think it should be 8.5?
There's not a big difference, is there?
What?
I mean, it's not huge. It's not
huge, but it's not trivial.
Well, and also I've kind of put an asterisk on my number saying the injuries they have are very hard to quantify. So it's more of a range, somewhere in the 7 to 9 kind of range.
Okay.
More so than anything. Look at that. That's a Cincinnati Bengals first down.
Thank God. Thank God. I mean, if the Bengals get all the points we need, that would be a good deal.
Is it Martin Luther King Day tomorrow?
It is. Tomorrow's a federal holiday, Andy. A lot of people around here.
I mean, I'll be at work. We're not a bank
this weekend. I'm jealous of those people, but I'm also not jealous because the crowds were so big and the weather was so bad that it was a kind of a mess up in Mammoth. So, not sad that I missed out on that.
Should we do this on the air? What do you want to do for deep dive?
We're not doing like 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock Pacific tomorrow. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, we'll do
our full deal.
It stinks, and we'll do a lot of recapping for Dallas, Tampa.
Or just talk all Australian Open. It's up to
you. When we get to Wednesday, we'll get into Tampa, Dallas, but we'll know. I mean, just the way it's worked out with the teams that have won, we'll know Tampa and Dallas. One of them's heading to San Francisco, so it's tough that we won't have all 6 games. Well, it's better than trying to do it tonight.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
So yes, tomorrow
we have one price. Is that right?
Are you locking that in?
I don't even see your price. Okay, so yeah.
4 p.m. You're saying?
I think 4 p.m. Pacific. Let's do that. Does that work for you? That's 6 p.m. your time. I mean, you're in jail, so you get nothing but time.
I got to pick up a kid at school, but it's much earlier than that.
They're gonna let you out of jail to do a.
There's a band concert coming up. Apparently, the band is putting in overtime, and I've heard them. They're not good, so they should be. Yes, BetOnline has, and I'm looking at low VIG, so the price is lower. So it looks like it's 105 for Philly, 115 for the Giants, -7.5. Total 48.
You want to know something weird?
School tomorrow. That's the worst thing is they will not give these kids off a day of school for Martin Luther King Day, but they don't have school on Friday because it's the end of the quarter, as if that's something to celebrate. Good job, you made it through your quarter. I don't know. The teachers just need time to prep for the next quarter.
How much time? How many days of school do they even have after Christmas break till now? 5?
It's like 4. It's like 4 during January.
Yeah. Congratulations, guys. Yeah. Well done. Well done, kids. Man, that's something. That's something. Bengals dinking and dunking, but they're moving the ball, so I don't really know what to say here, complaining wise. Should we? We should save our Jaguars Chargers commentary for tomorrow, right? For the deep dive.
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll
All
save
right.
that. I'm gonna go.
I'm not going to. Let's not talk about it.
I'm supposed to be picking up bread on the way home, but I forgot my wallet, so sorry, no bread.
Do you have any other strong leans in the Aussie Open? Should I divulge my leans? Let me see what other action I have. My biggest bet by far today was Kostyuk, and that's already home. So I'm past posting on you all. Sorry, Kostyuk was a winner. Ed Burrell, she looks like she's doing pretty well.
Don't love Draper this week.
You're out on Draper.
Out on Draper.
What is your score line for Nadal Draper, Andy? Please, let's share it with the world.
I mean, 3 sets. It goes, 2-3-2?
Wow. You think Nadal fucking just utterly embarrasses the kid?
I'm not a Draper guy. I haven't looked at any prices. You know who could be a sneaky one? And maybe I'm only betting this because the one guy who has her, you know how she changed her skin tone in that one Instagram post, Diana?
Yes.
Diana getting a decent price versus Ostapenko, who looks enormous right now.
She is a wall.
She's I don't know if that's a good matchup for her.
They say whale or wall. She's a wall. She will get it back every time. The 2-3-2, Andy, that would be an 11 game handicap. So I can sign you up then for Nadal, whatever it is, -5 probably, -4.5. You ready? You want some Nadal -4.5? That's the number on Bet Online.
Really?
I mean, I'm sorry. That's the number on Bookmaker. I can get you.
Is he hurt? This is terrible radio.
Nadal? Is he hurt? Okay. All right. All
right. We're this drive is taking way too long for it over. We should have bet on the Bengals.
Brutal.
We're gonna need a.
This is pulling teeth. Everything about every Ravens game is pulling teeth. These guys don't deserve the credit they're getting.
There we go. Nice little play.
We got a little chunk play.
We're down in the red zone. All right, I'll stick around for this red zone.
Jamar Chase has 9 catches for 90 yards.
Oh God! Speaking of pulling teeth, I had 2 dental appointments, Patrick, and they were about a month apart. And then my dentist kids got sick or whatever. They're like, we can't do it today. Which during that time, you're like, fuck yeah, I didn't want to go to the dentist this afternoon. She's like, can I reschedule it for this other day? And I said, sure. Now these 2 dentist appointments are like 3 days apart. And they're like invasive, like fix a cavity, sit in the chair for an hour kind of ones. So I'm about to have a bad week next week, guys.
So Andy, what do you like better? Nadal Draper first set 6-2 exact score at +935 or Nadal 3-0 at +188? Which one? I'm
gonna take the first set handicap because his injuries won't come into fruition. No MTOs till like the late second set.
That's why you're sharp.
Yeah,
that's why you're sharp.
I haven't betted a lot of tennis. I like to win.
I don't really have a strong opinion on that match at all. I think it's going to be competitive. I don't think Nadal's going to blast him. Certainly.
I might bet against Ostapenko too.
That I'm not going to stop you from doing that. Was that a Hayden Hurst touchdown? Tighty Whitey touchdown? I think it might have been.
Oh, no, this is important.
It's very, very close. God damn. Every freaking touchdown
has been go for 2 here?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely go for 2. Every touchdown has been super duper close.
All right. And
I think they're gonna call it back and put him on the half-yard line though.
Build this dream together. Stand in throne forever.
God, that was close. Good Lord, that was close. Do you have a take? You have a?
Sure.
I mean, the Dobbins one was the same fucking kind of deal.
I trust the refs with my life.
Yeah, but like, oh, God, man, when his knee goes down right there, I think it's across the plane. But man, Man,
Short.
is it close. They're calling him at the half. They're calling him at the 1 inch line, basically. This is an interesting wrinkle. Have you seen this? That live betting, they're offering what is the replay going to say? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I haven't really been following this.
Yeah, no,
I'm not like much of a live player, which is probably
one of the legal
why.
books has it.
Bookmaker is not offering it. Although I saw somebody bet it earlier. Somebody had that. All right. Well, we just have to wait for this commercial. Good Lord. You know, it's a funny, you know how we started this show and you were talking about how it was obvious I wasn't watching or listening to the broadcast because of the,
yeah, you didn't know about it.
Because I didn't know about the, they changed the rules about the replay. I did not know that until we went live. Like 5 seconds before we went live, you told me. I was like, what? You know what the other side benefit of not listening to the broadcast has been? Not hearing the commercials.
You know, and it's funny, the one time I had the broadcast off was during the Vikings game, and I made fun of them. I'm like, yeah, they wouldn't dream of like...
Yeah.
And it did turn out that was like the broadcast that was like encouraging them to go for fourth downs the whole time.
I have been extremely, extremely out of the Whopper joke. Like, people make the Whopper joke, and I'm like, huh?
Dude, my kids are singing it.
The Whopper? Really?
My youngest is going to.
What do you get out of listening to the broadcast? Like, why would you have the sound on? Like sell me on like why I should have the sound on.
I was doing a lot of cooking, and I don't have a TV in my kitchen, so I have the sound on. So when
football on your phone, Andy.
I know, but it sucks. I'd rather just walk around. How would I have my phone on when I'm moving from the island to the? You know what?
You have a stand for your phone. You put your football in your phone. You put it on the stand, and then you can cook away.
Obviously, don't know about the triangle in the kitchen. Can't have it at every spot. But I had to refinish some. There's the touchdown. I did have to refinish some cast iron pans. They got some rust when they got some water damage. That took a big chunk of my day. So I had the sound just blasting from the other room when I was getting up. But yeah, other than that, there's no reason to listen to the broadcasts. When I'm watching all the games, I always have it off. But when there's one game for some reason, I have it on. And yeah, I can't. I guess I'm glad I had it on to listen to Al be sad, which made me sad.
I had to turn it on just to hear it because of what everyone was saying, and I was very what is happening? Where am I? What happened to this guy? I had Amazon broke him apparently. Al Michaels.
Oh God, yeah. No, it
was pathetic. Horrible. I thought that was what you were saying.
Yeah, he brought that up too. I think maybe it wasn't something he said, but he's mentioned that, and it came out, and like he said that the Amazon thing was not a good experience for him. Which, oh no shit, because nobody watched.
He sold his soul to Amazon, which I think I think a lot of people that sold their soul in 2022 wouldn't mind a redo.
I take my wife out on Thursdays a lot. We go out, we get a meal, we have a few beers, and then I do the halftime show and ditch her during the season. And we rotate different bars, and we ended up having to stop doing that because none of these other places could figure out how to get the fucking game on.
That's unbelievable.
Like, there was, and it's not like I have a sample of all the bars in town, but there's literally only one, and it's the dive bar next to me here. And one guy was just logging on with, it wasn't even it was a bartender just logged in with his Amazon on one smart TV. That's the only thing they could figure out.
Wow.
It was something.
We have a referee controversy, but ultimately the Bengals convert the 2-point attempt. So 8 points on the board for the good guys, Andy. High five.
Yeah.
Let's check in tomorrow. Let's reflect on this mess. All right. I'll see you then.